Like when you name your first movie a 4-word title and then a 4-word subtitle, it just looks daunting because it's like, is this a sequel to something? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. It's the first movie, but you would be forgiven if you would.
It'd be like if the first Star Wars came out in theaters in the 70s and the title was The War for the Stars, the Empire versus the Rebellion.
Star Wars Episode 4.
No, it's like if I was about to say, it's like if the first one came out and was called Episode 4. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I love Star Wars, but like, come on, guys. What are we doing?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pacific Standard, guys. My name is Carter Briggs, and with me, as always, are my two beautiful co-hosts, Abel Stoico.
Who?
And Mason Winter.
Hello.
Today, we're talking about the movie, I call it The Guardians of Ga'Hoole, because that would be a better title, but what's this stupid what's
Legend
the title?
of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Ugh.
Based on the books, The Guardians of Ga'Hoole.
Just a terrible title. That is not an indictment of this movie. This movie has a lot of good things, and we're going to talk about them. But, Mason, do you want to tell us what the story was?
I'm not familiar with this story.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, but like previous to this, I was not familiar with the owls. I was like, that's the book series that like all the horse girls read, right?
No, that's cats. That's warrior cats.
You're right. That is warriors.
Hey, shut the fuck up about warriors.
Abel loves warriors.
I see.
I mean, I don't really remember what happened in those books, but I remember that I really, really cared. You know, they're good. They're cool. It's like Game of Thrones for 9-year-olds.
This is Birdwatcher's. This is a Birdwatcher's response to warrior cats.
Yeah, born to be a grandpa. Reading all these owl books.
Do I need to say what the story was?
Yeah.
I can do it.
All right.
It's about an owl boy who has an owl brother and then an owl little sister and owl parents. And then the brothers fight and they fall and they get kidnapped into this fascist white supremacist cult where they get brainwashed. The weak ones get brainwashed and the strong ones get turned into the Hitler Youth equivalent.
Soldiers.
For owls.
Little Hitler soldiers.
Yeah. And then so the main character gets supposedly brainwashed, but actually escapes it, flies away. And the other brother, who has a critical moment of not supporting his main character brother, gets turned into a soldier.
A Hitler
for the
Youth.
cult. They go and find the mythical Guardians of Ga'Hoole, the main character, and then he gets a ragtag group of fun friends that you grow to love over 3 books. I mean, one 90-minute movie.
You read that too? You read that too?
No, I just looked into stuff while I was watching it afterwards, and
that's what I meant.
yeah, I read that on the Wikipedia. Yes. Yeah, and there's a big fight, and then some of the bad guys die, and then the movie's over. I
actually have a lot of thoughts about this.
Yeah. Tell us some of those thoughts,
okay.
Carter.
First off, as Abel said, I went to the website for this book series because I was like, because here's 2 things about me that I love. I love animated movies and I love animals. And I don't mean I love animals like I go out into the wild and I pet them. I love learning about wild animals and how they exist in the wild, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the animals that I really like learning about is owls. So it was kind of fun when they would say an owl species, and I'd be like, oh my God, I know this fact and this fact and this fact about that owl. But also it was like, that was undercut when then the owls were Nazis. I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of owl racism. Well,
that's only some of them, and the movie denounces it, so it's actually a good thing.
No, it's a good thing. It's a denouncing of hey, just to all the internet people out there, this is a Zack Snyder movie where he denounces fascism. His fans are going to be so mad about that. His fans are going to be so upset. Anyway,
his little Snyder Youth.
But This movie, I was reading the website and like the description of the books. This movie is the first 3 books. So like the first book is them escaping. The second book is them going to Ga'Hoole. And the third book is the big battle where Clud maybe dies.
Yeah, and it really feels like it.
It really does. It feels like they rushed through every section of this story. And then I read the later books. Clud hooks up with and has a baby with that lady. With the Nazi lady.
Helen Mirren's character?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but like...
She flew overhead and he looked up at her with like infatuation.
He looked up at her all owl horny. He was the horniest owl that ever lived.
Yes, I can see that. They laid the foundations.
They laid the foundations for owl fucking.
That's one way to put it.
You know who laid the foundation is Clud.
He cludded.
No! Clip that.
That was too far.
No, that was great. I said clip it. Clip it. You know what this movie is a perfect example of? And people are going to be mad at me, but this is actually a compliment.
What?
Zack Snyder is, in my opinion, he has a signature style, that being like slow-mo and like everything's dark, but then like there's beauty in it too.
Yeah.
And he's great at it. This movie, some of the shots look amazing. That final battle with the owls is fucking awesome. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I had fun watching the owl fight. It was a dope owl fight.
He's like a really good like action sci-fi kind of visual director, but I think it's when he has story involvement is when he kind of falls apart.
He really does. He, I think, probably has the second most, like, to me at least, his visual style is the second most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I could pick it
Iconic.
out. I could pick out, like, if you showed me a movie that was a Zack Snyder movie and I had no idea that it was, I could probably guess. In the same way that, like an auteur, like unique. No, fucking whatever. It doesn't matter. I explained what the word means. He just has. He has his own
voice.
style. He has a voice, and it's fun. It's just he probably shouldn't write anything or be in charge of stories, because this movie, to me at least, feels rushed until the last 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Which is just an action scene.
Right. Honestly, this movie feels to me, and I wrote this in my notes, like excuses to get from one owl action scene to the next.
A lot of the themes that it's covering are pretty dark. Like, for a kids movie.
They're enslaving children.
They're like... basically, like lobotomizing them to an extent, which is funny because the next movie that he did, Sucker Punch, I don't know if you guys have seen Sucker Punch, but the whole spoilers for Sucker Punch, it's a terrible movie. The entire movie takes place within like a lobotomy, and it's all a dream sequence inside of this woman's lobotomy from like the 50s. And then the entire movie of her dream or whatever is her and a bunch of other patients at the lobotomy clinic, like all like wearing skimpy outfits and fighting like video game characters with like katanas and shit. It's so dumb. Anyways, that's Sucker Punch. That might be his worst movie. And he has some stinkers. I couldn't even finish Rebel Moon. But like when he's like his older stuff, like 300 is awesome. I really like 90% of the Watchmen movie that he did. I think that turned out pretty well for the most part. And Man of Steel is even okay at times.
I like parts of that first flight sequence in Man of Steel. Great.
It's pretty cool.
The fight at the end. Great. The characterization of Superman.
I did not like the fight at the end.
No, here's why. If it was like a different character, it'd be awesome. But the characterization of Superman, shit, it's bad. It's a bad
I watched that
characterization.
movie when I was like, it came out when I was 12, and I watched it on DVD at home when I was like 13 or 14. You know you have a problem when your big action, like climax of your movie is happening, and 13, 14-year-old me is getting bored and wants it to turn off. Like, it would just go, it's like fucking 45 minutes long. Anyways, back to the Owl movie. Interesting choice for Zack Snyder to direct this, considering where his career has gone. I think he did a good job, and it comes through. Like, his style is present in a animated movie about owls for kids. So that was cool.
Mason, you got any
what did
thoughts?
you think?
Yeah, what'd you got, Mason?
I liked how they just merely replaced the word heart with gizzard throughout the movie and being like, this man has gizzard.
No, that's good. I did actually like that. I like the owl shit. All the owl shit is fun.
Yeah.
No, it was so great. I wrote it down in the beginning. Through our gizzards, the voices of the ages whisper to us and tell us what's right.
Like, I love how they use gizzard, especially since it's like owls have hearts, and gizzards
True.
aren't like gizzards are like an aid in digestion for birds. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if instead of saying heart, we went bile
That's not
tract.
the stone thing, right?
What do you mean the stone
But they were
thing?
throwing
There's no, but there's like, I guess it probably wouldn't be because I think it's primarily with like,
Oh no, it is that it
herbivorous
grinds food.
animals, right? Is that how you say it? They will like swallow a couple stones and they'll sit in their stomach and
my
like
God.
grind up
That is a thing they.
food.
A gizzard is an organ that does that. Some reptiles do that. Some herbivorous reptiles do that, or they think they did, like dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, they had theories about certain dinosaurs.
That they ate stones to act as a gizzard, but the gizzard does it. That's what the gizzard literally does.
Oh, okay.
I just Googled it. It helps grind up food.
Boom.
Boom.
It would be like if instead of heart we said, "I feel it in me molars."
True.
I feel it in my
No, we
small
kind of do
intestine.
it. I mean, I know it.
Mason, knowing you have to pee really bad and feeling it in your teeth is not the same thing as having heart and bravery. All right.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about? I would like to hear.
I don't know. Don't you sometimes get like a? How do you describe like a funny feeling? Don't you sometimes have like physical symptoms when you have like I'm getting a weird feeling about this, or like I'm getting freaked out?
It depends
You get a
on the
little
feeling.
lightheaded.
Whoa. That's just because you have low iron, Abel.
Maybe
That's
or
not-
like your stomach drops, or like I don't know, dude.
Don't talk about my iron like that. My iron's awesome.
Abel's iron levels are insane. You've never seen a guy with more iron in his system.
I have no idea. I don't get lightheaded that often. I don't know. You get a little tingly. Something silly's happening. I don't really know what you're talking about.
All he eats are legumes and livers. Anyway, does anyone want to talk about how dark it is that the gardener snake is their wet nurse?
It's played by the herbology teacher in Harry Potter,
Oh,
Sprout.
Sprout.
Mrs. Sprout.
Oh no.
Miriam Margolis.
Yeah, I would have never picked that up. Did you hear that voice and you were like, "Oh, this is Sprout"?
No, I didn't, but I was listening to a lot of voices and I felt like I could recognize a lot of people. Like, it's definitely a pretty stacked cast.
I was like
far as
so
owls
confident
go.
that it was Liam Neeson as the dad, and it's just Hugo Weaving.
Just Hugo Weaving. Fuck you, Hugo Weaving. You're no Liam
Hey.
Neeson.
Like I was like so confident that it was him because it's got like a little.
I also thought that it was Liam Neeson for a second, but then it did sound like Hugo Weaving.
I just don't really know what his voice sounds like. I guess I just know how he sounds in The Matrix with an American accent. So
I know what he sounds like with a German accent as the Red Skull.
yeah, I haven't seen that movie though in a while.
Um,
So how am I supposed to know if I haven't seen that movie in a while, huh?
I don't fucking know, Abel. You seem really combative today.
Oh, you know, just having a laugh. All for fun, shits and giggles.
Just for fun. No, actually, listeners, we hate each other. That's actually, you're not seeing the behind the scenes. We haven't spoken in 3 weeks, except to do the podcast.
Which is true. But not for any malicious reason.
As I was watching it, all the like story beats and all the events were happening. I was like, this is fully just another like fantasy genre movie, except all the characters are owls.
Yeah.
Like it's every other fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Like when they show up.
It really doesn't have a whole lot of fantasy in it, honestly.
I mean, the owls
What?
make talons and they have a magic magnet at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
the
most of the
whole,
time it's
like-
just owls in like camps and stuff.
Right, but that's as
And
much
they have,
fantasy. That's as much fantasy as Lord of the Rings. Because if we're discounting that they're not human and they're talking, that's as much fantasy as the fantasy movie / book.
Was it not reminiscent when the Guardians just swooped out of the sky to save the travel-weary owls? Was it not reminiscent when the elves
That
rescued
was
the hobbits
reminiscent. I'm
from
not
the
saying
ring
it's
wraiths?
not reminiscent. I just am pointing out that it's not like abundantly fantasy.
No,
'Cause
it's
it
very
is owls which exist in our.
right,
No, but the depiction of the owls, I'm arguing, is fantasy.
Yeah, our owls don't
Yeah.
have fascist regimes, Abel. They don't. They don't. They don't wear leather-clad helmets and iron talon gauntlets, which are dope, I must say.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can we? You know what? I think I want to give the animators a little bit of props here for this old as fuck movie, and none of the animators are even listening. The beak talking doesn't wig me out.
No, it looks pretty good.
It looks really good. I totally believe that they're speaking English. Also, I love that they have fun little Australian accents.
Yeah.
I love that they're attacked by a Tasmanian devil. I want to save this for my favorite quotes, but my favorite line in this movie is when the two like henchmen crony owls are like,
Oh yeah.
we're gonna make you a picker, and one of the little baby owlets goes, oh, I don't want to be a picker.
That's like the only like funny line in the whole movie.
It's so good, and it's so fucking, oh, I don't want to be a picker.
Yeah, it was really jarring when they were like cutting back and forth between like brainwashing of the youth soldiers, and then they cut back to those silly henchmen dudes just like saying a bunch of silly stuff, and then like, oh, this is bizarre.
Who were conscripted, because the other henchman owl, like the head henchman owl who helps them escape, whose family is dead, by the way, like they definitely killed his family because he didn't do what they wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a kid's movie, Carter.
Okay, you're right.
Calm down.
But they never find the family, is my point. So like,
Exactly. They're not KIA, they're MIA. Okay.
Spartans never die. Okay,
They never die.
They just respawn.
Those two were also theoretically conscripted because they're not Tytos.
Yeah.
Also, neither is Metalbeak.
What is a
Was he
Titan?
not?
A Tyto is a type of owl. It's
I
what
thought he was.
No, he said he was, but he
I
doesn't.
thought he was, but I thought he was scuffed up.
I know, but his feathers are not brown and white.
Well, yeah, but remember how the guy who helped them escape, he was saying my feathers used to be different.
Yeah, because he painted them.
I think Metalbeak did that to everyone.
Surtur, more commonly known as Metalbeak, was a powerful greater sooty owl, he was a Tyto. Okay, so he is a Tyto. Okay. All right. But the two crony dudes aren't Tytos, so they theoretically got conscripted.
Those are like the goblins that serve under Sauron.
And
like
they're having a lot more fun than the other
mercenaries.
conscripted guy. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Yeah. They're down with the shit.
Well, they initially, like at the start of the movie, the first like quote unquote like tense or like frightening scene is when they kidnap the kids, but then they immediately break the tension because they're like talking with each other. They're like, "Did I seem threatening? Like, did that seem genuine?" Like,
yeah.
and they're just having a back and forth about whether they actually sold it.
Which,
like they're just morally bankrupt.
yeah, which is kind of, It's funny for a kid because a kid doesn't think about this. I know I didn't when I watched this as a kid, but watching it now, I'm like, this is dark as fuck.
Yeah, I remember I watched this on an airplane, and the only thing I remember is the moon blinking sequence.
Like, I totally forgot about it, but it's so fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, this is, like, I was not having it. Like, I was like, this is actually, like, scary. And I was like 10 or something. And now I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, I can see why it's scary. But it's not scary to me because I'm a grown up now.
I'm a grown up and these aren't real owls.
Yeah, this isn't really scary to me anymore. I think I know that it's CGI now.
Also,
I was gonna say potential crossover with the Daredevil issue. Maybe a little too much CGI, guys.
So, can we use live action owls, please?
Can we get some real owls in here?
Can we get Jon Favreau? Can we get Jon Favreau to make a fucking live action Guardians of Ga'Hoole movie and quit fucking around with these Lion Kings?
It would be so great because one of the owls would go to talk to another owl and it would just whip its head around 180 degrees and it'd be so unnerving.
Well, also, it would be huge. This is the thing about animals that, like, when you have, like, different types of owls, some owls are just so much bigger than other owls. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, in this movie, they're pretty drastically
different. They got the size
different.
Discrepancy pretty good.
They did. Like, the elf and the burrowing and the burrow and the screech. Those owls are all like, I'm like, Jesus, I would not feel comfortable talking to any other type of owl. You know what I mean? I'd be like, fuck this. You're massive. You're a massive individual.
Yeah, so basically if Jon Favreau did a realistic-looking live-action-ish Guardians of the Ga'Hoole movie, it would be scary to adult Carter.
I'd be like, A
talking animal in a movie? Fuck this. I'm not watching this.
Look, that's not my problem with those movies. My problem with those movies is that it's a talking animal movie and they're soulless. They have no soul or heart or character. Okay?
I know. That was just being funny.
Anyway, you're not
allowed
allowed
to be all serious all the time.
It's serious. We're talking about Guardians of Ga'Hoole, Abel. This is serious stuff.
Do you think that they were like... They were definitely going to make like more of these if it made money, but it didn't.
Yeah, they were going to put the next 5 books into another sequel movie.
5 in one?
That was a joke. I don't know if that was the plan.
I wasn't sure if that was on the Wikipedia and I missed it.
No.
That would be crazy.
I delivered that so deadpan Abel believed me. I'm pretty proud of myself right now.
Yeah. I think there's 15 mainline series books and then 1 prequel is what I gathered.
Is the prequel the battle they keep fucking talking about that we never see?
Probably.
That would have been fun to see.
The Great War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should do release the Snyder cut of the second movie that never entered production.
Release Guardians of Ga'Hoole 2.
Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole 2.
That's another through line for Zack Snyder. He sucks at naming his movies. He's bad at it.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was his choice, but fuck this title.
It's a terrible title.
Like when you name your first movie a 4-letter title or a 4-word title and then a 4-word subtitle, it just looks daunting because it's like, is this a sequel to something? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's not. It's the first movie, but you would be forgiven if you thought it was like the third.
It'd be like if the first Star Wars came out in theaters in the 70s and the title was The War for the Stars, the Empire versus the Rebellion.
Star Wars Episode 4.
No, it's like I was about to say, it's like if the first one came out and was called Episode 4. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I love Star Wars, but like, come on, guys. What are we doing?
Nobody would have seen that. Well, from the beginning, I knew that I was going to make 3 movies set before this one, so I knew it was going to be called Episode 4.
I have to wait for the CGI to get really shiny and bad.
Yeah, I have to wait until I get some actors that I refuse to tell how to act.
Should I be angry, happy, horny? What should I be? Yes. What?
Just read the words. Just read them. No emotion.
I love you. Perfect. That's a cut. No notes. I don't know what this impression of George Lucas is. Anyway, did we have any other thoughts on this movie? I enjoyed watching it.
Do.
What do you get?
I thought it was fine. It was fine. There was a lot of characters.
So many.
I started to confuse them, especially because I think that there were 2 owls of the same owl species at the end that were both really big, or at least they looked really similar. And then one of them betrays the group.
Yeah.
And I'm like super confused, and I had to go on the Wikipedia plot summary to clear it up because I refused to go back.
It was very confusing because the guy who betrays the owls is a great gray owl, and the friend who's a warrior poet is also a great gray owl. And they don't do enough to make them look different in any way.
Yeah.
Because all the main Taito characters look different, right? Like Clud and Soren look different, and the lady that Soren's down bad for looks different.
Yeah, like she looks like...
I personally didn't have trouble differentiating them. Occasionally, I'm staring at Clud's fucking forehead, trying to see if that's him, because it's only his tuft of fur that's different.
And his weird
he gets
scar.
A scar. Like, yeah, that's like the classic, like, I don't know if they're going to tell him apart.
His feather scar that he gets.
Let's just give the evil one a scar, and then everyone knows that he's evil, because... if you have a big scar on your face in real life, you're probably a bad guy.
You're probably a bad guy. Probably a bad guy. Hey, listeners, if any of you have big scars on your face, we're coming for you. He also instantly
gets seduced by the dark side.
So quickly. He gets seduced by the dark side in the fucking tree, bro. From fucking second one, you're like, that dude is the worst.
Which is the...
This guy's too happy. I need to take him down a peg.
What's
his whole character.
The younger brother from Narnia.
Oh,
the one who...
There's just like an older evil lady who just manipulates him and is like, come with me. And he's like, I'll do anything you say.
That dude is worse. I'm going to be honest right now. That dude is worse because he gets manipulated and seduced by Turkish Delight.
Yeah, Turkish Delight.
Disgusting. Fucking hate Turkish Delight. If you like Turkish Delight, fight me right now. I will fucking square up. It's disgusting. Here's where Mason says he loves Turkish Delight. It's his favorite.
No, I was just going through my notes to see if I didn't hit anything. I did notice in the same vein right off the bat, when the brother was seduced by the dark side, Soren also has to, of course, stand up for the smaller owl, and that becomes his buddy for the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point because they get kidnapped. And then Soren immediately makes friends with a small owl and is like, don't worry, my brother and I got you. Like, we got you.
As his brother is together. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, he gets like singled out for like standing up for her. And then they're like, all right, we're going to take you to the brainwashing facility. And he's like, I can't remember how his brother gets brought up. And then they're like, how about you, brother? Are you coming with us too? And he's like, no. Like, I don't want to get I don't want whatever's going to happen to him to happen to me.
Owl Hitler sent him to the camps, is what happened.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, what are you, like, can you really blame him for that in particular? And then, of course, you can blame him for all the other stuff, like committing himself fully to the cause and dehumanizing all the impure owls, or de-owlizing all of the impure owls, I guess, and just like committing to the fascist, like, authoritarian regime.
The de-owlizing sounds like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz invention. The de-owlizer 3000-nator.
It just turns owls into other normal birds.
Yeah, it just turns owls into crows.
This one's a robin now because it's so small.
It's stupid. Sorry. That's stupid.
That's stupid? Oh, okay. I wasn't aware.
No. Wait, no. Continue your point, Abel.
I just thought it was interesting because I don't think that moment was like necessarily like making that decision was like I don't think that made him like an evil character. I think that his commitment to the evil narrative later on made it like, and it's like a dark thing to put in a kid's movie that's like not like super one-sided, you know. Like,
true, but he sucks in the tree too.
Yeah, but like there's, I don't know, kids fucking fight all the time, you know.
I also think a lot of these abstract themes, as stated by Carter, weren't grasped by children when they watched this.
No,
not at all.
No child watched this and went, "Oh, I'm drawing my parallels to the Hitler Youth programs."
I see why everyone's so peeved about this Hitler guy.
Yeah.
Not everyone, Mason. Let's be
He's
clear.
kind of like Metal Beak, right? Dude, that would be so great for you to be like talking and conversing about Hitler and someone's like, is he kind of like that Metal Beak guy?
Wait, you don't know who Hitler is, but you do know who the main villain in Guardians of Ga'Hoole is?
This is in Elon Musk does the Metal Beak salute at a rally.
Which is something that you can do only do with talons. He's got his hands like down by his feet. He just goes, whoo, whoo, and he's like waving his arms like wings. Yeah, the fucking Anti-Defamation League is going to be on your ass, buddy. Try that in a small town. Try the Metal Beak salute in a small town. See how far that'll get.
Give it a shot, motherfucker. Here's the other thing about why. Here's Carter's theme corner. It's going to be quick this week.
Okay, quick.
They never touch on it. They really breeze through all of it. It really is like, oh, we're in a tree. Here's my asshole brother. We fell out of the tree. Here's a Tasmanian devil. He's going to try to eat me. Oh, now we're fucking in the Hitler Youth camps. My brother's
I have it logged.
A Hitler Youth.
20 minutes in is when they start getting brainwashed. 23 minutes is when they find the resistance fighter who's actually just like part of the cause.
3 minutes.
Like, because of it.
3 minutes, no vetting. No vetting by anyone. That's the part that's crazy to me. Is that...
And then 4 minutes later after that is when he gets discovered by the leaders of the cult, and then he dies 29 minutes into the movie.
Yes.
So within 6 minutes, they find him, he gets caught, and he dies.
Dude, legitimately, that whole time I was sitting there being like, dude, you've been under the influence of these fuckers for seemingly years, right?
Yeah.
And you've never spent the 2 minutes to find two owls who weren't brainwashed immediately. There's never been an owl who wasn't brainwashed within the first 2 minutes of being in the fucking camp.
It isn't, yeah. It's a little unrealistic, honestly.
That's how you could tell it's a fantasy.
Yeah, it really took me out of it. I couldn't watch the rest of the movie.
Couldn't watch the rest of the movie. But the action scenes are great. The flying scenes are great. It looks great. It's badass.
Dude, it's a kid's movie about owls from 2010.
Look. Love it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Mason.
The owl jokes, they were a hoot.
Oh, you stole that from the fucking guy in the movie.
Uh-huh. Exactly. That's a line from the movie.
Hey, Mason, did you know somebody on this podcast turned into an owl?
I think the echidna said that was foretold that would happen.
Mason wants to move into quotes. That is a great sequence.
No, I'm hitting all my notes I haven't hit yet. I'm squeezing them in.
He's speed running the notes.
You were supposed to say who, Mason.
Twas foretold you'd say who. Twas foretold.
Yeah, you didn't though.
That is that is a great sequence when the elf owl is just like, you're just saying shit that's happening, and then the guy's like, "'Twas foretold there would be a doubter."
There would be a doubter. And then he goes down the line of all the like party and gives them their titles, and he's like, "The navigator who doubts."
Yes. That's actually good. That actually did make me chuckle a little bit.
Exactly. I think there's a bunch of funny lines in this movie.
Oh, I don't want to be a picker. That's
Obviously
gonna be
Carter's favorite.
That's gonna be my new vocal stim going forward. Oh, we're just gonna be doing a podcast a month from now, and I'm gonna randomly go, "Oh, I don't want to be a picker."
I'm just gonna hit him with the
Callbacks to Gahool.
This is a reference only our listeners from the Gahool episode would understand.
If
From
you've
the
been
episode we're focused entirely on the Legends of the Guardians, the Owls the Gahool movie from 2011.
It's gonna be like a year or something from now. It's gonna be like, I've been listening since the Gahool episode.
No, but it's
Not
also
once
up
have
to
you
me
guys
and Abel.
mentioned not wanting to be a pecker in years.
We'll also have to clarify and be like, anyone who wants to understand Carter's crazy tick, you just go listen to the Gahool episode.
Everybody knows about the Gahool episode, except for you.
I'm gonna have Alzheimer's. I'm gonna be like laying. My entire family's gonna be around me, and they're gonna be like, "Do you remember us, Grandpa?" And I'm gonna go, "Oh, I don't want to be a picker."
They're gonna be like, "Was that English?" I can't understand because they're not expecting an Australian accent.
Oh, I don't want to be a picker. Also, we haven't talked about how there's a magic magnet. That's fun.
What is the big weapon? What's the super weapon? I never understood it.
It's a magic magnet that fucks with their gizzards.
Okay, a magnet, but like, is there metal in gizzards naturally?
I don't think so. Maybe it's like, the writer of Guardians of Gahool thought they were pigeons because pigeons can hone in on the magnetic center of the earth or whatever.
I don't think that's just pigeons.
But owls don't migrate, is the thing. You know?
Bats do.
Bats don't have gizzards. That's why they use bats.
No, but they migrate.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Which bats migrate? Oh, wait. I think you might be right. Hold on.
I'm 100% right.
Do bats migrate? Google, tell me. Yes, many bats migrate seasonally in response to changing food, water, and shelter. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oh my
Bats
god.
migrate.
Mason, you've cracked this case wide open.
Can I get my
now we never have to listen to a word Carter
Mason.
says ever again.
Mason, I'm so sorry. Will you ever forgive me?
Just don't come at my bat knowledge.
All right. Okay. All right. Fuck.
I built a bat house when I was in like 5th grade, bro. It's still sitting in Eastern Washington on a tree, providing a sanctuary for a family.
Yeah, when was the last time you checked on it, though?
I'm sure my grandpa's keeping it up.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was just like in the woods.
Just on a random...
No, my grandpa's out there.
In the
Grandpa
woods.
lives in it now?
No, he's
bat
in
house?
Eastern Washington. It's on the property.
Mason is a descendant of Harry from Harry and the Hendersons.
No. I wish. Maybe I wouldn't be 5'6".
Sorry, that was very funny.
It's very real. Very real.
Oh, do you have any more thoughts about the Guardians of Gahool, the Legend of the Owls?
Yes, I do. For a while, I just really hated kids' movies because I felt like I was above them. Like, maybe like 5 years ago, I was just like, I'm not watching this stupid bullshit. It's for kids, literally. And then I've kind of come back around to them partly through like this podcast.
5 years ago, when your age started with a 1, you were like, "This too immature for me."
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how you get. You're like, this is for babies. You know, it was kind of like that. And then I think the one thing that I have noticed that I just hate about all of them is the fucking pop song musical training montage.
Dude, I literally buried that. I literally wrote ugh, this era of kids movie.
Yeah, and the fact that they literally got Owl City to do it is fucking hilarious, but also like so terrible. Like,
it does not fit in this movie
Owl City,
at
but
all.
it doesn't fit. No,
It does not fit in this movie at all.
they're like just like he's got owl in the name, and they're basically in Owl City. You know, when they go to Gahool.
Ugh.
Is that what it's called? Where they go? I can't even remember. I watched this like 3 hours ago.
They
It's
go
the
to
tree, dude.
They go to Gahul. They go to they're the guardians of Gahul.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I questioned myself. You guys weren't even fucking saying anything, so whatever.
Sorry.
Well, I think I'm confused because like Abel spent a bulk of this podcast being like, this movie's kind of a piece of shit. And now he's like, I think I've come around to liking kids' movies now in my later age.
I don't hate this movie at all. I just like making fun of things.
That's true.
In movies.
That's true.
Like,
if we didn't do that, Mason, we wouldn't have much to talk about. In this podcast.
I just don't. I think making fun of like moments is like, yes, I agree with that. Thematically criticizing and breaking down a kids movie, I don't agree with.
I was breaking it down in a good. I thought that the themes were very dark and it was bold for a kids movie to go there. And I liked what they were saying. And
they just tried to put 3 books into one movie, so it was rushed.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, judge it on the basis of a standalone movie. What do you think then?
I would say that the themes are really rushed. That's what I would say. Genuinely. I don't
even think the themes are that rushed. I just think the themes are good, but the plot of the movie is rushed.
Yeah. Like, the first 2 acts are like breakneck, dude. They don't sit in anything. Like, it's real fast.
Yeah, overall I did enjoy this movie. I don't think it's great, but I think it's solid. I'll get into my rating when we get to ratings.
Do we want to do?
I have one more thing.
Okay.
That I just wanted to point out. I think it's because it's an animated movie and the editors get to do a lot more editor stuff because they can just animate around the editing of the voice lines or whatever. But it's a pet peeve of mine. One YouTuber pointed it out like in a video that I watched a while ago, and now I just can't. Like, whenever an actor gets cut off like mid-sentence by another actor, it's so abundantly clear sometimes that they were just reading the line that gets cut off and they do not know what they're going to say right after that point.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in this movie, when that happens, it feels like someone actually did get cut off because they were able to edit it in a way where the person cutting them off cuts them off, but then they keep talking for a little bit, like a normal conversation, you know? It was just nice to see that. Just a little thing. And now that I've noticed it, or pointed it out to you guys in live action movies, now you can look for it too.
Now we can be angry too. Now, Mason, are you so excited?
I'm definitely going to be completely oblivious still.
Okay. Does that?
You're not woke like me. Stay sleeping.
Don't use woke. No, stop using woke, Abel.
I was using it in the sense that it used to mean.
No, dude, Abel got moon blinked.
No. Anyway. Favorite quotes. You know mine. But I do have a second one.
Yeah, I have a runner-up as well.
What was your top favorite?
You're going to ask for my top before the runner-up.
I'm sorry.
What is this?
Give me the runner-up. Give me the honorable mention.
Okay,
yeah, start from
when
the bottom,
Soren is being giving his speech to the Guardians and telling them his whole spiel about Metal Beak and his army of fascist Titos, he's like, yes, the only proof I have are my words, but words were the only proof I ever had that you were real, and I believed.
No, it's a good line. It's a good line. It was in the trailer. I remember the trailer line, which was when the echidna says all that thing about being exhausted, and he's like, "You'll be halfway there," and then the owl goes, "We're halfway there." That's not my line though. That was trailer lines. What was your? All right, give me the top. Give us the top.
Oh, touching on those darker themes of like violence and war. I think it's kind of like a little bit of like a throwaway line, just sitting in a kids movie. But the what's his name?
Which one?
The Lies of
Keel. Lies of Keel. If you steal my line right now, Mason, I will kill
Carter,
you.
I have to.
I will kill you.
What did you
ask him
expect?
to go first?
Go.
Some Taito Alba with gleaming armor and battle claws, the moon rising behind him? Well, this is what it looks like when you've actually fought in battle. It's not glorious. It's not beautiful. It's not even heroic. It's merely doing what's right and doing it again and again.
Son of a bitch, Mason.
It's a great line. It's a great line.
It's great, especially the back end where it's not about getting praise or like having stories sung about you. It's just doing what's right and doing it again and again and again until you're fucking broken.
Yeah, that was the line I didn't add where he's like, even if you end up looking like this.
Ugh. Such a good line. Anyway, that's mine. Abel, what's yours? What's yours, Abel?
Well, I couldn't really find, I was invested in the movie and not writing down the ones that I thought were funny or good or whatever. So I'm going to go on IMDb and
You were enraptured.
tell you this trailer. Gilfy says, "Let us go." And one IMDb user found that interesting. So that's
Okay.
my quote.
All right, now it's time for the ratings.
Somebody was like, "We got to put this on the IMDb." This quote from Guardians of the Galaxy. Let us go.
Okay, so Carter and I had the same quote. Abel didn't have a quote. So your best quotes from this movie were one quote.
One quote. No, I had a second quote.
Okay, give us yours. Yeah, give us
Oh,
another
no,
one.
I don't want to be a picker. I don't want to be a picker.
Of course. Of course.
Ooh.
Shut up.
That
Abel.
doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Anyway.
Oh no, not the loot. One IMDb user found this interesting.
I'm going to kill you. Anyway. Let's move on to the ratings, huh?
What would you give this, Mason?
I'm not going first.
Yes, you are. You're going first forever.
No.
No, I'm not going first, and I'll state my reason why. My reasoning why watching this movie was like, I don't know why I was getting angry, but I was getting angry that I was like enjoying the movie. I was like, I thought this movie was gonna be trash, but like it's better than I thought it was.
No, same. No, I did have that. I got to like the third act of this movie, and I was like, wait a minute. I was trying to pick a real shitty one. I'm going to give it a 7.5 to 8.
Okay, I feel more comfortable. I was gonna give it 7.
Yeah.
7 gizzards out of 7 gizzards.
7 gizzards. Trust in your gizzard, Mason.
I would give this movie, I think I'll give it a 6. Close to a 5. Closer to a 5 than a 7. But I think it's solid. And I would watch it again.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that's
pretty
the
good.
ratings. Now we only have 2 more things on this show, folks. The first thing is, what have people been doing? Abel?
Oh, yeah. What have I been doing? I'm still watching Severance. That's good. Still watching Common Side Effects. That's good. I started watching season 3 of The White Lotus. Do either of you guys watch that show? Have seen it at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I remember that the first season, each season is a different White Lotus hotel in a different region of the world. And so it's just a bunch of people who all go to the same hotel at the same time. And they kind of, their paths intersect as they're all doing their own thing. And I remember when it first came out, I was like, this looks like a dumb, like, wealth porn, like, show about, like, people vacationing in Hawaii. Like, this is stupid. And then I watched it, and it is that, but it's also, like, I think it's one of the best written shows on TV. Every season has a whole, like, brand new batch of characters that all have their own, like, story arcs that are woven together really, really well. And it's just impressive because there's like 12 new main characters every year, and they're all played by like really, really talented actors. Some of them are like complete unknowns. And then this season has Walton Goggins and Jason Isaacs is in it. who I'm really excited to see. And then there's like other people that I don't know the names of, but I've seen them and stuff. And then whole new people. It's really good. And I really recommend it to people who like kind of slower paced dramas with really good writing and really good acting. And also like to have chill vibes at really expensive hotels, because there's a lot of vibing in the hotel. And the music's also really, really good. So yeah, watch White Lotus.
Bet. Mason.
New stuff, mainly just keeping up with Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it. Carter, have you watched the newest episode?
Team Powerplex, baby.
Okay, I have a gripe with Powerplex.
You're wrong, Team Powerplex.
No.
No.
Not. So wait, hold on. Why am I blanking? Aaron Paul. I was blanking on his name.
Oh, he's in that show?
Yeah, he's new in this season.
He is now.
Oh, what the fuck?
My only gripe is that, like, you know when you're yelling, but you just tone your octave down a little bit to kind of like fake yell, whether you're like on mic or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It feels like his character does that the entire time, and that's the only tone he speaks in.
Yeah.
That was my only gripe.
That's fine.
Because I heard glimpses of it. Like there was glimpses where his inflection would raise or lower, and I was like, I know you can act, dude.
Come on, Aaron Paul.
And then it would just go back to the same tone again, and I was like, ah.
Yeah. No, he's pretty monotone through the whole thing, even though he's like screaming.
But I'm like it. I like his character.
Voice acting and regular acting are very different.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not crossing over as well for whatever reason. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so. Well, you hear it sometimes in like animated shit.
Which is wild because he's got like his acting is all great vocally. So I don't get whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Practice sessions for the new Formula One season happening. So we're getting to see the tracks on the cars on the track for the first time. But you're not actually getting a realistic representation of how the teams are going to do, because they're not actually like going full bore, but nearing the beginning.
Dope.
That's it though.
I finished Daredevil and I'm watching Punisher. It's great.
Finish the entirety of Daredevil?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And now I'm watching Punisher, and I love watching Nazis get shot. It's awesome. When I say Nazis, I mean anyone who works for the CIA. Boom! Fuck.
Did you see the news about like what's the company? The VOT prequel we're going to get?
Oh, no, I didn't.
God.
It's going to have like a Stormfront and Soldier Boy origin story, apparently. And somebody commented on like the post, and they were like, we're about to see the most racist scenes put to television from this show ever.
Oh.
Do we really need a show about that?
No, but Amazon does not understand that they're the butt of the joke, Abel.
I think maybe they understand that we're the butt of the joke.
Amazon is Homelander waving at everyone being like, you loving my show, right?
That's true.
I still haven't finished the 4th season. I don't know why.
It's fun.
I was liking it too.
Hey, Abel, how are we picking this week's movie?
Don't we have something? Did it Snow White?
Oh, it better not be.
No shot.
I think it's supposed to be, yeah.
It better fucking not be.
Please, no. Can we call an audible on the pod?
No way, dude. No way. No way. No way. No audibles.
I mean, it's Snow White, and then we have like 3 weeks of spins, then Hop, and then 5 weeks of spins.
Omaha.
So.
Omaha. All right, next week, Snow White, listeners. Next week, Snow White, the most boring Disney movie. Let's go.
Hey, you put that in there, Carter.
Well, because Snow White's coming out. Fuck.
Yeah, and we can put hashtag Disney in the TikTok tags and get 12,000 views again.
SEO, baby.
Didn't even allow my Omaha.
No. I'm fucking... Dude, who do you think I am?
Who do you think you are? I am.
You're not Peyton Manning. Sit down, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Whatever.
Damn. That's harsh. Yeah, check us out on Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Gmail, Pacific Standard Guys at gmail.com. Add Pacific Standard Guys on everything except for Blue Sky. That's going to be at psgpodcast.bsky.social.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
You want to do it? You want to do it?
No, but do what?
Do the outro.
Oh, I don't want to be a
listen. Always listen to your gizzards, folks.
Listen to your gizzards, people. Don't. I'm stopping the recording.
Okay, bye, everybody. Take care.